Hello everyone. This is our webcast for March 1st, 2022 for the Edgenuity staff members. Sorry that we have not, or that I have not done one of these in a while. Things have slowed down here in the office, so I am able to get on and record something for you guys. We have a lot of information that I want to cover today. I'm going to try to get through this as fast as possible. So bear with me, but I do want to just commend all of you guys for all of the hard work that you have been doing with your students and making them and getting them to be as successful as they can be in these online courses. I know there's been a few issues that have come up with a few things, but we like to kind of tackle those on a case-by-case basis. And so anything comes up you're not sure of, you have questions on, you guys are doing a great job on, relaying that information to me and to the district and making sure we can get the issue resolved. So I just want to commend you on all of that and all of the hard work that you have been putting into this. So I appreciate all of you guys. We're going to go ahead and get started for today. I'm just going to go ahead and go down my list. I have an agenda set up. I will send this agenda out after this meeting, after this recording. I'll send the recorded link out along with the agenda, and then a few other links that we're going to be talking about today. And then I'm going to be showing you. I will add that onto the email as well. But I have a lot of information since we haven't done this in a while. And I want to kind of just clear up some things, some emails that I've been getting, some questions I've been getting, and answering all of your guys' questions. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing on my agenda is Edgenuity has changed their name. They have rebranded and they're trying to put everything underneath one brand because they are kind of taking things from other online curriculums or buying out other online curriculums and trying to make it one. So what they are now called is Imagine Learning Edgenuity, or Edgenuity plus Imagine Learning. So Imagine Learning is their new brand that they are under. So if you click on this plus sign, it's going to kind of show you and kind of explain to you why they are doing this. And because, like, for example, they have Edgenuity courseware, Edgenuity Odysseyware, MyPath, instructional services. They have different products that they offer to students and to districts. So they want to kind of brand that and put it all underneath one. And so now it's called Imagine Edgenuity, Imagine Odysseyware, Imagine MyPath, Imagine Instructional Services. So if you kind of see that within Edgenuity, that is the reason. They're just kind of putting everything together under one. So I just want to make sure that was brought to your attention. The next thing on our list is the SIS. So at the beginning of the year, we transitioned over from emailing students from the LMS over to the SIS. And the SIS is a student information system where it holds all of the students' information, whether it's their email address, the school district, their e-mentor information. And you guys as well can email the student and the e-mentor from this system as well. So we no longer are emailing students from the LMS. So when you log in, you need to make sure you're logged into the SIS, which is this right here that I have pulled up, and then also the LMS. So make sure both sites are you're logged in, both sites are open when you are checking on your students. So I know this is going to look a little bit differently to you guys as you're set up as teachers. And I'm set up as an admin, so it's going to look a little bit differently. But I just wanted to kind of touch on a few things here. I did send out information on the SIS. I sent out a link to a video. I do have that link on this agenda that I'm going to send out again, and so that you guys can reference back to it. It has a lot of good information on there as far as different things that you can do with this system. Some really cool things that you can do. So I would really encourage you guys to check that link out and watch it. I don't know how long it was. I did watch it a little bit today, maybe about 10 minutes or so. But just to kind of give you a refresher, reminder, and maybe to be able to do some fun, different things within the system as well. So just the one thing I want you to know is when you're in as a teacher, you're going to click on their teacher's link and then see, like, it looks different to you. But I have all my list of teachers here. So when I like click on a teacher, it's gonna pull up probably what you guys, a similarity to what you guys see possibly. And in order to see all of your students and what they're doing, you're gonna click on, or not what they're doing, but or where they're at, probably the progress and all that. You're gonna click on current enrollments, and then down below, you're gonna see all the list of all of your students. And you can customize these up here. If you go to the customized columns, you can customize to what you see in this current enrollments page, and you can select whatever you want here. You can do how whatever you want to select. It kind of gives you what you can choose, and that's totally up to you guys how you want this to look. So I kind of have it set up to what I want. And so you guys can do that however you guys want, but that's just kind of going to give you kind of a list of your students, and then you can customize columns, and then you can also click on each student here that has a purple link, and then it's going to take you into that student's information page. And this is where you're going to get the student's email address. So like here, you're going to see the email here. You're going to see the school name is Ethan. The student's from Ethan, and then you're also going to see, you should see the e-mentor. And that right here is listed mentor information down here below. So Janet Gustafson is the mentor for this student. And you can get the email address listed here as well. So you don't need to email me for that information anymore. And I know I try to get it set up into that automatic email that gets sent to you guys, but it just, yeah, not everything can be put in there. So I believe this is going to be the best way for you guys to get that student information that you want and that you need. So I wanted to just kind of point that out one more time. I know we did go over that before. Yep, student school, and then email the students. And then obviously if you go to messages, you'll be able to email the students from here. You can compose, you can, click on a previous email and then reply back to them. And then right here with the messages, you're going to get a red number 1, 2, 3, 4, however messages that you have, an alert that shows you that you have a new message. So that messages alert, red alert will be here on the message tab that you will see. I know there's some teachers that prefer to email using their K-12 email address and just converse that way. And I am totally fine with that if that's easier for you. And if the students get back to you quicker and it gets to the student quicker, I am fine with that. Just know that when you go into the students, one good thing I think about this system is when you go into a student, you can actually see like the student information converse, like the recent communications between the teacher and the student here. So like your previous emails and your previous conversation will show up, and you can kind of refer back, or you can kind of see and remind yourself, what was said and stuff. So stuff does kind of get saved here, and that you can kind of refer back to. And you can also like leave yourself notes, I believe. And that is in that video that I will post, that link that I will share you guys with the video. You can actually create notes on as far as like the student, like if they're having trouble like in English, in a certain English class or something specific in that English class, you can kind of make notes, or what you help the student with, like you can kind of create your own notes so that kind of what the student is struggling with, or what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. So you can kind of just remind yourself and go back and refer back to that. So, because I know a lot of you guys deal with a lot of different students. So it's nice to kind of have those reminders for you, but it's good. And then also that you can see the recent activity down here as far as the week goes. Here's the student's activity in the last 7 days. Obviously, they haven't been in within the last 7 days. So that kind of gives you a good indication of what they've been doing for that week. And also then it gives you kind of an academic snapshot of, as far as in each of their courses, their percentage completed, if they're behind or ahead for their last activity. So that kind of gives you a good overall quick snapshot of where that student is at as well. This does hold a lot of good information. And that video is going to be able to tell you a lot more than I can tell you. I was not trained in that. I never did really have anybody from Edgenuity show me what it looked like, but that video is going to be your best bet, and it provides a lot of good information. So please look at that video and learn a few new things, and refer back to it if you need some reminders on it. So, and if you have any other questions about it, please send the questions to me, and I can always find out the answer for you if I don't know it, which is most likely probably going to be the case. But anyway, yeah. So though that is kind of just a couple of things that I kind of wanted to show you in this section, because it's hard to kind of show you more just because mine is set up a little bit differently than your guys's. So I don't want to give you any wrong information here. Okay, so let's go ahead and go on to the next thing on the agenda is the LMS dashboard. Okay, so now we're going to go into the LMS. So here is where I was at the very beginning. And then we're going to go ahead and go to the dashboard. And then I just kind of want to well, I have some filters on here, I think. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, had a different filter on. Anyway, I just kind of want to touch base on a few of the alerts. Just a reminder, if you see these orange alerts, which you're going to see more of, is that this is a teacher review where their assessments are locked and they need to have their test proctored before they can take the test. And they have to have the test unlocked. So you guys do not need to do anything with these reviews, these orange alerts, the review alerts. Let me handle those unless you're in contact with me and we both know kind of what's going on, because what's going on here, and I'm going to touch base on this a little bit more later on in our agenda, but first I just want to kind of just point out, just don't worry about these right now. I just wanted you to know what they were, because you're going to see more of them. And I'll go in a little bit more in depth later on in our agenda about these. The red alert is the out of retakes alert. So everybody should know how to do that. Obviously, a student used up their 3 attempts and needs more retakes as far as not being able to get to that 60% threshold that they need in order to move on. Because remember, so for the assessments, I'll just go ahead and touch base on this since I said it. So on the assessments, we have it set at 60%. So the students need to get a 60% or better on the assessments in order to move forward. Now, they always have the chance to, let's say they got a 65% on their first attempt. That's going to move them forward. If they want to get better on that assessment, they can email you and say, hey, I would like to do this assessment one more time. Can you give me, which they should be able to go back and redo that assessment 2 other times if they want to get a better grade. But if they exhaust their 3 attempts, then this red alert is going to come up and they don't get that 60%, this red alert is going to come up, and then you're going to have to go in and give them more retakes on that assessment. But like I said, if they get a 65 and they want to do better than a 65, they always can go back and redo that and try to get a better grade on that assessment. This orange or the yellow alert is there's an activity that needs to be graded. And so obviously we're going to see a lot more of these. This is going to be a lot in the English and social studies, like the short answers, ones that are not automatically graded by the computer. So make sure that you're checking on these and getting those taken care of for each of the students. Now, I have had some teachers send me completions that the student has an alert yet, an assignment still needs to be graded. So make sure when you're going to look for completions that you you can look and if a student is at 100%, like for example, like this student, she's at 100% completed, but she's got an alert. So make sure you take care of that alert before you send me the completion, because that means that the student hasn't completed the course yet. So also, if you want, you can go into the students view courses page, and you'll also see health education score pending, status score pending. So usually if the course is complete, you're going to see complete here, and this says score pending. So this needs to be complete before the class is complete, before the student's done with that course. So make sure that this says complete before sending me that completion, because there's been quite a few times where I've had to go in myself or email the teacher and be like, can you grade this? And I don't want to have to go back and do that. So just try to remember to answer all those alerts and get those taken care of before you send completions, please. The next one, bypass, remove, bypass assignment. So I've had a few questions on, let's see if I can go on to this one. A few questions on the bypass and the remove bypass. So if I'm going into, let's just say, a world geography course here for a student, you're going to see up here bypass current assignment. If you bypass this current assignment, I'm just going to go ahead and do it because I can unbypass it. And you would bypass an assignment, for an example, like one of the reasons is, okay, like for a project, it's the links aren't working or the pages aren't loading, like there's some technical error going on with that assignment or with that project. You can go ahead and bypass it for a time being. And then I'm just going to go ahead and bypass this just so that we see what's going on. Okay, maybe I can't, of course, bypass. Let's just go back. I'm going to go back. Let's go back to, I want to go back to like a project or an assignment is kind of what I want to do. Go into English. So if I want to go in, let's just say, let's just do this short writing assignment. Let's just do this assignment. So he's currently on this unit test. Let's just go in and let's say try to bypass this. We're going to submit it. So now we bypass that unit test. Right here, it's shaded, you'll see that. And then he's on now on the cumulative exam review. So you got to click back on that unit test. And then down here is remove bypass. And so that's how you can bypass and then remove bypass. So for example, like I said, like if there's like some technical errors going on within that assignment, and those like sometimes it doesn't upload, the links aren't working, they're broken. So you need to bypass that assignment for a time being. So once you bypass that, I want you to, if it's a technical error where something's not working, I want you to report an issue with it as well. So then you're going to go ahead and report an issue, and then you're going to fill out the information that's required for that, and then you're going to click OK and send it. And then the Edgenuity team will receive it, and then they'll get back to you as far as, okay, this is working now. So once that they fix it, they fix the broken links or fix whatever is not working, then you can go in and then you can remove the bypass. And then that's going to add that activity back in there. As you'll see, the unit test now, it's working. It's highlighted, and now he's able to go in and take that or redo that assignment or to do that assignment again to get that grade. If it's something that's counted. Now, if it's something that's not counted towards their grade, I would just bypass it and not worry about it. But I would still report an issue just so that Edgenuity can fix it so it doesn't continue to happen. Okay, so that's just remove bypass and the bypass. I just want to kind of touch base on that. So there's a few questions on that. You guys can do that. You do not need to ask me to do that. You just take your own, whatever you think is the best and do that because I trust you guys. So your best judgment there. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. I did report an issue. Okay, grade journals and online content. So I am in an English class. So I wonder I know we have them in, let's go. So in the world geography specifically, you're going to have online content in journal. So when a student gets to this, they will do it, but then it's automatically going to give them 100% until you as a teacher go in and grade it. So these are not going to give you alerts on the dashboard to grade it. You're going to have to go in here manually and click on each of them and then click on the attempt and then grade it from there. I know it's a pain, but if you're on top of it and you know kind of are in here daily or every other day, you should be able to go in and grade it manually for that student. And this is going to be also that plagiarism tracker is also going to be showing up as far as if a student is plagiarizing or not. So you'll be able to see that and utilize that feature, which is a nice feature. But I just want to make sure you guys know that you have to go in and grade these online content and journal entries for each of the students. It's not going to show you, or the computer's not going to grade it, and it's not going to give you an alert. So make sure you're going in there because the online content and journal are counted towards the student's grade. So make sure you're going in and checking those for the students. Manage enrollments. If we go to manage enrollments, I just kind of want to show you guys this, which I've done it before, but this is kind of a good page to go in order to search and look up a student. Let's say that you're kind of looking at your students that are past 12 months and you don't see the student in there. You can search as a disabled or completed student, and you can search by the student name, and that will pop up. Also, you can use filters. If you have classes that are created or your user group, you can filter by your user group. You can filter by classes. You can filter by subject. So you can use this filter as well to filter out some of the students that aren't yours or that you don't need to see. Also, like I said, you can search by completed or disabled students. So a lot of times if teachers like, I can't find the student, after the 12 months when a student did not complete the course, I take them out. I do not let you know. That is, your responsibility to kind of get that information to me. You can look up a student here. Okay, disabled. I don't see him, so I'm going to look under the disabled students list and then search the name, and then all the information should pop up as far as progress. And you can filter this page as well up here. I'm not filter, but you can list what you want to see as far as what shows up for each column. You can customize that according to what you want to see. So like when I click the disabled, I can search a student, and then this is what's gonna show up. The progress, overall grade, active time, date enrolled, first grade book entry, and the date disabled. So that's the information that pulls up for me, but you can customize that how you want. But yeah, you should be able to find any student here under managed enrollments, whether they're active or disabled or they have completed, if you can't find a student. Otherwise, you can just go under your managed students. If they're active, you should be able to find any student under your managed students page as well. And you can filter that by user groups and by classes, and then that should bring up all that list as well. Also, there's the other filters here that you can use for the managed students page too. Okay, so I just want to kind of touch base on that managed enrollments page. One other thing I wanted to kind of show you, since we're talking about managed enrollments, is there's a question mark here to the bottom left corner. I'm sure you guys have seen this for a while, but you click on it, it's fairly new. But you click on it, it's another resource center, and you're going to get features that are new, tips for teachers, tips for administrators, teachers lounge. This is connect with other peers that are kind of doing the same thing you're doing. But a lot of the what's new, you'll get alerts here as well. They'll have a red alert here as far as like different new features that they rolled out with. So you can look under here as far as what's new. I was going to kind of go over this data export feature that's with the managed enrollments page. that is fairly new that you could do for either your user group, a class, like if you have a 15 or 20 students from one district, you can data export and send it to the district if that's something that's helpful or useful to them. This is more for a group of students, not just individual. I'll show you an individual student report here shortly, but this is for more of a group. So I know there's some teachers that have students from Wall, students from White Lake, Brookings, Brandon Valley. So if they want like more of a detailed report for a bunch of students, this is a good way to do that. So I'm just going to kind of go over this. Maybe I already did this, but anyway, what you can do, it kind of showed me, you can go to manage enrollments. And basically you can just export the data that you want to send to the district from this page. And how you're going to do that is first you're going to filter by however you want to filter it by. Like I said, classes, I don't have any classes runner wants please use the box closer. Also, then you just search for classes, like specifically what class you're looking for. And then basically that class is going to show up, and then you're going to click this Excel link, and then that's going to export an Excel spreadsheet where you can download and then send that report to the district if that's something that would be useful to that district. And if you have any other questions about that, please let me know. But you just go to manage enrollments, okay? And then you're going to filter to according to whatever class you want. If you want to do your whole user group, you could probably do that, but you can select specific students that you want to get the data for. But this is probably more, like I said, for those big groups, teachers that have students in one, like numerous students in one district. Like I said, you just filter by the classes and then pick your class, and then you export up here. And then also you can choose what, as far as from the filters and from this setting, what you want to pull up as far as the data, okay? So if you have any questions about that, let me know and I can help you with that. Time limit for pretest. Here's another thing that's new, and you'll see that here. The time limit for pretest. So if a student is in a credit recovery course, they are set up to take a pretest per lesson. If they get a 70% or better, then they are able to test out of that lesson and move forward. But now they have put a time limit on there. That never was on there before. So let's go ahead and just go into a student course and just show you what I'm talking about here. First of all, I need to get to someone that is pre-testing. So he is in, looks like pre-testing. So you'll see over here, if it says pre-testing, the student is in a credit recovery course. And so if I click this circle and then go to edit options, and then I scroll down, and so this is where the pre-testing is. So pre-testing is here. So this is on. The time limit is 60 minutes. So they have an hour to finish that pre-testing quiz. This can be changed to whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it as 60 unless the district notifies me and says, hey, can we up that? I would be fine with that. I just don't do it because this is kind of what was automatically set. So, and I don't know if we're ever gonna really change that, or it needs to be, but this is an option that we can change, and we can increase it, we can decrease it, whatever the district wants. But I'm gonna leave that up to the district. And then the pretest threshold, like I said, is set at 70. That's what I have it set for every credit recovery student that is in credit recovery. The pretest is always set at 70. So if they receive a 70% or better on the quiz, they get to move on. If they don't, then they have to do that whole lesson. And then try for, they do the quiz then at the end of the lesson. And then they're able to move on to the next lesson. So that's kind of how the credit recovery works for students. And like I said, if you go in here, it says pre-testing, that means they're in a credit recovery course. Because I know when you guys get student information, course information, you don't know if a student's in credit recovery or not, unless you go in and look at the grade book, but you can tell by looking at the status. And then also, like, you could be able to tell, like, for example, this is, let's see, let's go up here, because he's already done these. I'm just gonna go into one that kind of shows. Like when they test out of a lesson, usually this whole part is gray color. And that means that they got a 70% or better on the quiz and was able to move on and didn't have to do that lesson. So you can kind of tell in that way too, but this one isn't showing any of that. So anyway, so yeah, if you go into the grade book and click on the lesson, and if it's grayed out and they've already moved on, you'll know that they just had to do the quiz and they got a 70% or better and were able to move on to the next lesson. So that's kind of how you can tell by that too. Student course report. Okay, so this is where we're going to see show where you can pull up an individual student course report. If you wanted to send just per student to a district or to a mentor and kind of give them a more detailed progress report, course report, you can do that if they ask for it, or if you want to just do it because they're behind or they haven't been in their course for a while and kind of show the district where they're at currently, you can do that. So if you just click on the course, you're going to go into the view courses or to their grade report, their grades, grade book page. Up here to your top right is the course report. So if you click on that, that's going to pull up the course report for Roman for pre-algebra only. You have to do this for each individual course. If you want to pull up the course reports. Like I said, if you want to do more than one course, you can go back to that manage enrollments page and then type in Roman Waldner, and then you can pull up all of his courses, and then that's going to show all of his courses and where he's at. But this is just going to do individual. And so it's downloaded. So I click on my downloads, and then you will be able to save it to your computer, download it and save it. And then you can send this then to the district. But this is going to kind of give you a more detailed look into the course and what he has done so far. So you're going to get the unit, you're going to get the lesson, and then breakdown of each thing in the lesson, and the instruction summary assignment, when it was due, the first attempt, when it was submitted, how many attempts it took him, estimated time it took him to take it, and then his score over here. So this is kind of a good report. I know a lot of districts do like to get this. And I have sent this to some districts before for students if they request it. And like I said, they don't have to request it. If you feel like this is something you want to send to them, like I said, if they're behind, this may be a good thing to send to them, kind of show them where they're at, what they've done, you know, how far behind they are. Otherwise, you can just wait until they request it as well. So, but like I said, this is going to be in their grade area when you click on the course in the view courses page, and then up here on the top right hand side. And I already talked about the students in credit recovery. Another thing, yeah, the purple question mark here, I kind of already touched on too, but that just, yeah, kind of shows you some new features, and then tips for teachers, like guided walkthroughs. This is something too that quick, easy access. If you guys want some more information on something, you can look here to see if it's here, and you can click on any of these, like accessing the course report for students that I just showed you. You can click on that, and then that is going to kind of go as far as it gives you a step-by-step thing of what you can do. Hover over students, click manage students, and then just going to show you how to get there and how to get to that page for students. And they might show you a little bit different way than I did, but yeah, you just click on the arrow and then click on whatever you want to know how to do, and it will guide you to do that, guide you through how to do that. Okay, this is kind of a big one. Let's see, I was going to, pull up maybe our website to show you guys. So I know I kind of had sent many emails out about this. We've kind of talked about it at the beginning of the year. The cheating policy. We have put a cheating policy in place because there's been a high number of students cheating lately. And this isn't just for us. I mean, it's happening all over with online curriculums. With online providers. So we needed to put something in place that we can set clear expectations for students. And so what we have done, if you go under calendar and policies, you go to student policies, and you're going to scroll down to right here. The procedures for students who do not follow above listed rules are listed below. So the listed above rules, code of conduct, appropriate language, a commitment to academic integrity. This is the main one. You work on each assignment on your own. You will not practice plagiarism in any form, as violent as copying or using ideas from another person on online classmate or internet or print source and presenting them as your own. You will not allow others to copy your work. You will not misuse conduct from the internet. So because of that, because we're having more and more of that, we needed to set something a little bit harder in place. So the first offense, students will be given a verbal warning and chance to redo the assignment. The district e-mentor facilitator will be notified. So if the student does it the first time, you're going to send an email to the student and to the e-mentor, letting them know that they have plagiarized. And you can also send the example of what they did as far as plagiarizing goes. And then they are able to redo that assignment. So you're going to put in a 0 temporarily for that assignment, and then you're going to let them know if they want to redo it, they need to let you know, and then you can go back and reopen that assignment. And then once they redo it, you can give them the correct score that they receive without plagiarizing. If they plagiarize a second time, grade weights will be changed, tests are proctored, and they receive a 0 on that assignment. And the district and e-mentor facilitator will be notified as well. So second offense, it doesn't have to be on the same assignment. It can be just a second time in that course. Put an automatic 0 for that assignment. You send them, the student and an e-mentor an email saying that they have plagiarized again. They receive a 0. The test will have to be proctored, so I'll go in and lock, in which you guys can go in and lock. It's the test and the final exam. And then the grade weights will be changed. So if I go into a student, I don't think you guys can change grade weights, so I will do that. You just have to notify me. But you guys can go in and lock the tests. So if I go and click on the course, circle here by the course name, go to edit options, and then here, options, yes, teacher review. Click here, and then require review for each attempt so that they can't, we want to make sure that, they're not redoing it without a proctor available. So we want to make sure that we have that clicked as well. And so you guys can do that, and then I will go in and change these grade weights as well. And so we do have it set, I believe, like the test is 50, the exam is 15, assignment 10, and quiz 10. And so that's and we're going to just do that across the board for all content areas, which has been working okay so far. So that I will change those, and then the test will be proctored, and then they need to email me a day and a time when to unlock their tests. And it's just best if they email me and I do it, because I feel like I'm around my computer every day, and so it's easy for me to go in there, because I know you guys are working and sometimes it's hard to get back to the student right away. So I'm okay with doing that. You just need to CC me on all those emails. I know Katie Rake and Candy Punt have been doing it, but you need to be very aware of the students copying work from other websites. Now, like I said, in this world geography, we have that plagiarism checker, and in the world geography, English, and all the social studies and English classes, we'll have the plagiarism tracker available. Right now, it's only that you can only automatically scan the assignments. You cannot manually scan. I'm checking on that. You should be able to, I think, but I don't know how to do that yet. So I'm trying to find that out right now, as far as if you can manually scan assignments into the plagiarism tracker to check for plagiarism. I'm checking on that, but right now you can automatically scan. So how that works, and I thought I saw one. Okay, so usually, let me go English. I think it was English. Is it English? Yes. Okay, so this student here, you'll notice that in this unit, mythology, there's a red triangle. So that means that there's been some plagiarism. So if I click on this, it's going to show me the lesson. There's another red triangle, and then exactly where the plagiarism took place. So if I click on the revising, and then right down here to the right, it says academic integrity, 100% match. So this score should not be 100. So we will need to make sure that if this is 100% match, that means the student copied and pasted exactly something from an online website and into their into this activity, into this assignment. So then they need this will need to be changed to 0, or and then this will need to be changed to 0. You email the student, you let them have a chance to redo it. If they don't get back to you, you leave it at 0. So because they need to take responsibility for their work. And then if they want to redo it, you can reopen it. If they plagiarize a second time, then that will just stay at 0. So anywhere you see these red triangles, you need to check for academic integrity, okay? And the plagiarism tracker, you just click on this and it's gonna show you, you're gonna open it up. And I have a link for this plagiarism tracker too, to kind of show you how to use it as well. So there's a video on it, so you can watch that video. But if you scroll down, it's gonna show you your text is highlighted according to the matched content and the results above. So obviously it's all red. So he copied and pasted it from an online source for word. So that will need to make sure we get that changed and we check for that, because we don't want students getting away with this and thinking that they can get away with it. So this one here, you'll see short writing, attempt 1, 0, attempt 2, 0, and that's 100% match as well. But that was 0 because of the second attempt, and they plagiarized again. So please be aware of this. Obviously, the red triangle is going to be your indicator, and that's going to help you. And then obviously you're going to be able to, check it here, scan it and check it. And like the video said, if it's 5%, maybe it's not something that you need to look into, but if it's like 48, 55, 65, like if it's kind of over that 50% mark or a little bit under, I would definitely check and tell them that that's not right, that they cannot do that, and then give them a chance to redo it. So please be aware of the plagiarism checker, the red triangles in those courses that have the short writing, online content, the journals, all of that in there, because that's where it's going to be, where you're going to be able to use that, and where you're going to be able to see if they are plagiarizing or not. So like I said, I have a video on how to use the tracker, so I will send that out so you guys can watch that when you need to or when you can, but that's our process. And also another thing I wanted to say, it'd be a good idea, just so that students know our clear expectations for the courses, is to maybe put that in your introduction email that you send out, that this is what is expected, and kind of put in our policy in there. It says, if you cheat or plagiarize the first time, this is what happens, second time, this is what happens. And you can get that from our website if you click on student policies, and then it's down below the first and second offense. So you can put that in your welcome email. That would be great, so that students know this is what's going to happen if I do this. And I know that I've been trying to work on something that we can get, that I can kind of maybe put like that we can use for all courses. That I know math, this is happening to a lot. And we don't have anything in the math course yet that tracks plagiarism. You have to kind of do it yourself. So with that, with the manually scanning for plagiarism, possibly that might help in our math courses, but like I said, I don't know how to do that quite yet. And then, but this is kind of our option, our only option right now. If there's something down the road where we can use for all of the courses, that would be great. But because we work with all kinds of different districts, it's hard to put anything else in place right now. Edgenuity, I've been in talks with Edgenuity to do some sort of lockup browser, but it just hasn't, with how we are set up, it doesn't work. So I will continue to work on this and do my best to make this as easy for you guys as possible, because I know it's a pain to, especially in the math courses, to have to look at each assignment and then look it up on Brainly or wherever, Quizlet, to find out if they cheated or not. So I know it takes a little bit more time. So this is on my radar constantly. Now that there have been heightened issues and students doing this more often, I know Edgenuity is, on alert with this as well, as far as making sure that students aren't cheating. So a constant battle and something that we'll be constantly working with, but I think we have a good plan put into place right now. And I need all of you guys to follow that plan. I'm only getting emails from a couple teachers as far as the plagiarism and as far as the locking tests and changing grade weights. So I need all of you to get on board with this and make sure that you're checking those assignments that are flagged with the red triangles. Okay, I need you to be checking on that for me, please. We can't let students continue to do this, okay? All right, on-demand tutoring. Okay, I have not used this myself, but I have been aware from Edgenuity that students have the choice to do or to use the on-demand tutoring. So I do have, I believe this is it. Nope. I have all kinds of links opened up. But anyway, I have a document that, oh yeah, I know where it's at now. It's right here, right here. On-demand tutoring for core courses. So I don't think I have touched on this yet. I believe since we were able to use it last year, maybe in the spring, I think it was new, and then this year it carried over. And this is turned on for us. So this is enabled for all of our students that are taking our courses. So they are able to use the on-demand tutoring. So basically, they're called concept coaches, and they're available 6 days per week, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10, and Saturday from 9 to 7:30. And so this is it's a document that kind of shows you how it works for the students. So you guys don't need to do anything with this. This is more for the students, but I just wanted you to be aware of it. So you could let the students know, hey, this is an option. If you're struggling, this is an option. Like, they can use this anytime they want. But anyway, they should be able to see down here. I know this is kind of small. There's a tutoring, like a blue icon, where they click on this, and then they're able to pull up a concept coach as a tutoring help button. And then they will be able to chat with a concept coach for help with the activity that they're working on. The concept coach may open an interactive whiteboard, help you visualize the concept you're working on. So this is for the student. So it's kind of cool. And I know that there's been some students that have been using this, because when I go into the SIS, sometimes when I click on a student, I don't know which students have used it or not, but you click on a student, and then if you go down here to communications, it will show you, it will tell you here in their recent communications that they communicated with a concept coach, and that concept coach will then put notes here as far as how they helped that student or what that student was struggling with. So that's a good, I think, thing that you can relay to your students as well, that they do have that option to use the on-demand tutoring. And I'm gonna go ahead and attach this to the link for this meeting, so that if you want to send this to your students or to the districts, you can do that. This is kind of another resource for them. So I think that's a really kind of a good thing for students to know. And I think students I think that Edgenuity does relay this to students, I think, when they, in the student orientation video or somewhere along the line, I think they're, should be aware of this, but if they're not, or another reminder that this is an option. Okay, so we're almost done here. Just a few more things. I just wanted to remind you again that our core board meetings are the first Thursday after the first whole week. And usually you should receive payments by the 10th of the month. And if you don't, please let me know, because I know sometimes I've missed some vouchers here and there when we are really busy. So I appreciate you keeping me on my toes on that one, because I'm not perfect and I know I have missed some there. So I apologize for that, but just send me an email and I can look that up for you. And then our website, you guys all know Dial Virtual or dialsd.net for Dial Virtual School information. And I'm still getting questions on this with the Ogallala Lakota County students. They need to have a 60% or better in order to pass. If they have a 57%, that's not a 60. So they need to get to that 60 in order for them to pass that course. So you will need to make sure that you're working with them and communication with them on that, and opening or resetting assignments so they can get that up to 60%. So they need a 60%. One other thing, standards currently under review. So I have found, like, usually, I don't know, I think it's every 3 to 5 years that they do this, but if you go into the DOE website, you will find what standards are currently under review. And I just kind of want to bring this up and kind of show you guys the two that you guys would be related to would be the social studies and the fine arts. The fine arts standards, I believe, are not going to be adopted, or you won't have to teach to the new fine art standards until 2023, 2024. They were approved in the spring, and then I believe you can teach to those new standards this coming school year, but then, you know, not officially, like they're not adopted quite yet. And then 23, 24 is when you will need to teach to them. So just be just kind of putting it in your head now that if you do have some fine arts courses, teach fine arts courses, we will be required to teach those new standards and for the 23-24 school year. And normally what happens when this happens, when the state puts out new standards, we then as a provider have to get those courses reevaluated and then approved again by the state. So that's kind of the process that we have to follow once standards get once the standards get reviewed and adopted. We will need to follow our approval process. So that we will have to probably do in the next couple of years. And then the social studies standards, I believe those are on delay, so we don't have to worry about those quite yet. So there's not any information about those quite yet, but those are delayed as of now. And yeah, so that looks like that is my last on my list as far as information to relay to you guys. If you have any questions about anything on this video, I know it's been a while. We're gonna try to do a live meeting in May at the end of the year. If we do May or early June, just kind of wrap up the year and talk about a few things, and then we'll kind of come back and reconvene in the fall. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Get outside, enjoy this weather, and I will talk to you soon.